Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Dear students, you are welcome in this class. Today we are going to have fourth lecture on the topic insect pest and disease management in rapeseed and mustard crops, seed processing and cropping systems under the course Agronomy of Oilseed, Fiber and Sugar Crops. So, we start the lecture. The learning objectives are to describe the management of insect pests and diseases of rapeseed and mustard crops. So, here you will study a number of diseases and number of insect pests of rapeseed and mustard crops and what are various control measures of these problems. To explain the processing and value addition of rapeseed and mustard crops produce. As you are aware that most common use of rapeseed mustard crop or its produce, that is seed, is to get oil, vegetable oil or cooking oil, which is used for several purposes. So, there are two main byproducts from the seed. One is vegetable oil and other is seed meal or oil cake. So, we will see how through processing we can get seed meal and oil. And then to detail the cropping sequences including rapeseed and mustard crop. What are different intercropping systems or what are different cropping systems where rapeseed and mustard crops are fitted. Some difficult words, glossary. Causal organism. A causal agent is a general term used to describe an animate means living, or inanimate means non-living, factor which incites and governs disease and injury. This is the cause, this is the reason for disease or injury, which is causal agent or causal organism. Integrated Pest Management, IPM. IPM is strategy that focuses on long-term prevention of pests through a combination of techniques such as biological control, habitat manipulation, modification of cultural practices and use of resistant varieties. So, in case of integrated pest management, variety of options are combined in an optimum manner. For example, cultural methods, mechanical methods, biological control methods, crop rotations, etc. are integrated together to overcome the problem of insect pests. And pesticide application or application of chemicals should be the last resort or last option based upon the economic threshold level. Microbial pesticides, bacteria, fungi, viruses or other microorganisms that are commercially produced to kill or otherwise reduce the abundance of damage of pests. So, these microbial pesticides are obtained from the microbes themselves and that are used to kill or suppress the growth of other organisms, that is microbial pesticide. Natural enemy, an organism, for example a parasite, pathogen or predator that attacks and kills one or more pests. These organisms provide biological control. So, it can be parasite which depend wholly upon a host for its survival. Similarly, pathogen is disease causing organism and predator may eat the prey directly. Necrosis is death of tissue accompanied by dark discoloration. Nymph, the immature stage of insects, for example aphid and grasshoppers, and that develop through incomplete metamorphosis. So, in such insects there are only three stages. One is egg, then nymph, then adult. The juveniles that hatch from eggs and develop into adults through a series of modes. So, it has been observed insects where nymphs are produced, they are also damaging stage in addition to the adults. Parasite, an organism that derives its food from the body of another organism. without killing the host directly. Therefore, it is a parasite. Parasitoid, an insect that spends its immature stages feeding on or inside of the body of a host insect, ultimately killing its host. There are many examples of parasitoids through which certain insect pests can be controlled in different crops. Lepidopterus, of the pertaining to butterflies and moth, means any insect which is belonging to order Lepidoptera is a Lepidopterus insect. Then pesticide, any substance or mixture intended for destroying, killing, preventing or repelling a pest, maybe fungi, maybe insect, maybe rodent or weeds. Dear students, rodents here means your common rats or maybe squirrels, etc. Plant disease, an abnormality in structure and or function of the host plant cells or maybe tissues as a result of continuous irritation caused by a pathogenic agent. Then it is plant disease. And disease also means dis plus ease. Dis means here not, ease means easiness. When somebody is not feeling easiness, maybe in case of plant, they are not easy when they are infected by some organisms or pathogens. So, that causes disease. Predator, any animal including insects and mites that attacks and kills other animals, prey, and then feeds on them, that is predator. Now, we discuss insect pests of rapeseed and mustard crops. We will see what are the important insect pests, what kind of damages and extent of damages being done by these insects, what are the symptoms and how to control or manage these insect pests. So, crops are vulnerable to large number of insect pests. About 50 insects may damage brassica crops. So, it is huge number. Among these, mustard aphid is the key pest of brassica crops. So, it occurs across almost all the brassica crops. Followed by sawfly, it is normally called as mustard sawfly and painted bug. So, these three insects are the major ones. However, other insects are also there, and yield losses due to aphid may be as high as 97%, and sawfly and painted up to 15 and 30% respectively. So, you can see that these insects can cause huge damage to the crop. The management of different insect pests in rapeseed and mustard crops are now discussed. So, we will take up one by one. So, first one is aphid. Scientific name is Lepaphis erythimi, and it appears during end of December to middle of March, particularly when there is cloudy weather, there are no sunny days, some humidity is also there and weather is cold. Under those conditions, aphid infestation is quite high and they multiply very fast. Their population is huge. So, you can see on the right side in the picture, these are aphids. They are sitting on the mustard plant. So, you can see their number, and it includes your adults as well as nymph, and they suck the sap, they suck the juice from the leaves, juice from the stems or branches, and juice from the flowers or even pods. They can come at any stage of the mustard plant. So, you can see insects are pale green, soft bodied and 1 to 2 millimeter long. Their length is small, that is just 1 to 2 millimeter length, and lives in colonies. High rate of multiplication is there for the aphids, and moist and cloudy weather favors rapid multiplication of this pest, and average temperature of 10 to 18 degrees centigrade is more favorable for rapid development of aphids. So, in Hindi they are called as chepa, sometimes chepa or mahu keet. Adults and nymph both. On the right side, you can see their large population. They are sitting on the flowering branch of the mustard plant, and see nothing is left here. All the flowers are eaten, and if pods were there, they were also eaten by the insect. So, adult and nymph, they suck the cell sap from various plant part. They do not spare any plant part. They can attack leaves, inflorescence, twig, stem and nodes, affecting seed yield and oil content. Finally, the production or produce quality as well as quantity is affected severely. Heavily infested plants remain stunted and bear no pods. So this is quite dangerous insect of rapeseed mustard. Let us discuss the management or control measures for this insect. First option is grow improved varieties or varieties which are resistant to aphid. Right now some varieties are available that can be used against the aphid. If a person or if a farmer expect more damage by this aphid in a region, then some suitable variety can be selected. The mustard sown before 15 October in North India often escape aphid damage. That means the crop which is sown late may be more infested by the aphid. Use balanced dose of fertilizer. Overdosing of fertilizer, particularly nitrogen, would attract more aphids. So here balanced fertilization is very, very important. Many times farmers use more of nitrogen compared to phosphorus, potassium, sulfur and other nutrients. So therefore the growth is luxurious and watery also, which invites infestation of this insect aphid. Plucking and destruction of infested twigs may be done 2 to 3 times at 10 days interval. It is better to remove the pest because they are sitting on the branches or they are sitting on different plant parts, and in large number if we cut off that portion of the plant and take it away from the field, burn it or destroy it, then we can reduce the infestation of this insect. Spray the crop before aphid reaches the economic threshold level. Means this ETL is very, very important. It is the level of the insect or population of the insect in an area. If you control that population by insecticide, the cost of prevention is more than the profit. So therefore, in this case, when the population reaches ETL level, you can control the insect. Suppose there are 100 rupees are spent on the insecticide and there is damage of 100 rupees, no problem. But if the damage is more than 100 rupees, then you should go for insecticide, because cost of preventing or stopping this insect or controlling this insect is less than the damage being done by the insect. Use oxydemetan methyl. This is very perfect insecticide, oxydemetan methyl 25 EC or dimethoate 30 EC at the rate of 625, 850 and 1000 millimeter dissolved in 625, 850 and 1000 liter water per hectare respectively, and 3 sprays at 15 days interval. I would like to make it more clear to you. Suppose you are spraying dimethoate 30 EC. So during the first spray, you take 625 ml quantity and dissolve in 625 liters of water and make first spray. And second spray, you take 850 ml of this insecticide dimethoate and also take 850 ml liter of water and spray in 1 hectare. Similarly, third spray, for third spray, you take 1000 ml of this insecticide and dissolve in 1000 liters of water and make the third spray. So you can see the quantity of water or spray material is increasing. In first spray it is 625 liter, second 850 and 1000 liter in the third spray, because when mustard grows, the vegetative growth becomes more and more with time. So therefore you need more water when growth is more. The spraying should be done after 2 p.m. to avoid toxicity to insect pollinators. Honeybees are the major insect pollinators in mustard. If you spray this insecticide early in the morning, then those honeybees can be killed, because their activity is much more higher during morning hours. So better to go for spraying insecticide in the afternoon. Now next major insect of rapeseed mustard group of crops is mustard sawfly, Athalia proxima. You can see picture on the right side, the adult of the fly, and the damaging stage is larvae or caterpillar. On the right side you can see blackish brownish kind of caterpillar is there for this sawfly. So it infests the crops in early stage, mainly during October, November, means at immediately after seedling stage or early branching stage, this Athalia proxima or mustard sawfly infests the plants. Adults are orange, yellow, wasp with smoky wings, black head and legs. You can check on the right side. Larvae is the damaging stage, which is also called as caterpillar. Yellowish green to dark green with 5 lateral longitudinal stripes. Full grown larvae measures 1 to 1.5 centimeter. Larvae makes irregular holes in leaves. In severe infestation, plants may completely be denuded. Now, how to manage this mustard sawfly in rapeseed mustard crops? Follow the crop sanitation. This is number 1 strategy. Timely irrigation helps in killing larvae through droning. Larvae through droning means if you apply water, the larvae will drone from one place to another place and they will die. Spray 500 ml malathion 50 EC in 500 liters of water per hectare and repeat the spray if population build up again. The third major insect of rapeseed mustard crop is painted bug, Burgrada hilaris, cruciferum. So, appears in pest form during 1st October, November and secondly in mid-March till threshing. So, it can come many times in the field. The adults are oval shaped, flat bodied, pretty looking, having number of white, pale and orange markings against the black ground. The nymphs are small, wingless, crimson red in color. Now, you can see the adult of this painted bug. On the left side, you can see this is female. Female is bigger in size. This is female adult and this is male adult. You can see the male adult is smaller in size. And so, see different life stages of the Burgrada bug. So, you can see eggs, it starts with the egg and then you can see the reddish color nymph and nymph then advances to next stage and finally, this is your adult. So, it passes through different stages through morphogenesis. Adult and nymph suck sap from plant parts, different plant parts. On the right side, you can see these adults and nymphs. Very difficult to make a distinction between these two, but they are sucking the sap from the leaves. Attacked young plants become bushy and leaves develop white blotchy spots. In the later stage, the attack results into loss of oil both in the field and threshing floor. So, overall what it is going to do is reduce the seed yield and also reduce the oil content in the seeds. Now, management or control of this painted bug: follow clean cultivation by weeding, hoeing and burn the debris around the field. It is necessary to remove all kind of weeds around the bunds or near the roadside where you grow rapeseed and mustard crop. So, field sanitation or clean cultivation is necessary. Apply first irrigation 3 to 4 weeks after sowing wherever possible. Now, dust crop with quinal fast. Quinal fast dusting can be done 1.5% at the rate of 20 to 25 kilogram per hectare. This is a powder kind of thing and dusters are available in the market. Farmers can buy dusters and dust the insecticide. In severe infestation, spray the crop with malathion 50 EC 500 ml in 500 liters of water per hectare, or you can say 0.1% solution of malathion can be sprayed in the field. Thresh the crop as early as possible to avoid further losses and dispose of plant material immediately. Next insect is pea leaf miner and scientific name is Chromatomia horticola. Assumes the pest status during February and March. So, this is the time when infestation of pea leaf miner occurs. Adult fly is small, you can see it looks like a mosquito on the right side. Colored maggots are tiny, 1 to 2 millimeter. On the left side, you can see the maggots. These are the maggots, and as you know, maggots are also kind of larvae, but they do not have legs. Legs are not there with them, and they are pale colored. You can see the pale color of the maggot here. On the right side, you can see some flies are sitting on the leaf, but damaging stage is your maggot. The maggots eat away the chlorophyll part between the two mesodermis layers of the leaf in zigzag fashion. So you can see this whitening. The chlorophyll part has been eaten by the insect. You see their symptoms are quite unique, and anybody can identify the symptoms of this damage by pea leaf miner. They mine the leaf, they mine the chlorophyll from the leaf. And what happens if chlorophyll is removed from the leaves? The photosynthesis will be reduced because these areas are not green, and this reduced photosynthesis can affect the growth, can affect the grain filling, can affect the flower development. So many physiological activities in plants can be adversely affected by this insect. The heavily infested leaves become yellow and fall down, affecting the yield severely. Now, how to manage this leaf miner? Pluck all the infested leaves and burn them to kill the larvae and pupae resting inside. This is one. Number two, foliar spray with systemic insecticides such as oxydemeton, methyl 25 EC or dimethoate 30 EC at the rate of 875 ml in 875 liters water per hectare should be sprayed. So, dear students, you would surprise this how come this pea leaf miner is coming in rapeseed and mustard. So, what happens? There are many insects are there which are polyphagous in nature. They can eat or they can affect many crops. Although it is a major pest of pea crop, but it can also come in rapeseed and mustard. Therefore, the name pea leaf miner. Now, Bihar hairy caterpillar is Spilosoma obliqua, and many of you must have seen this insect in the field. If you have visited field of chickpea, field of mung bean, urd bean, many leguminous plants, if you see mustard, you will find this caterpillar or larvae very common. This is Bihar hairy caterpillar. The adult moth is dull colored with red abdomen. So this is your adult moth. This is the insect, and as the name suggests, moth means they are active during the night time. And you can see the full grown larva measure 4 to 5 centimeter in length. The body of the larva is covered with thick long hairs which make them hard to kill by insecticide. So you can see the thick hair on the body of this larva. More severe on Thoria, young caterpillars feed on in gregariously. Gregariously means in the group. Later on migrate to new plants and feed. You can see their numbers on leaves, very large numbers sometimes it can come. Initially their color is greenish, but when they become adult or when they increase in weight and length, they will change their color. They will also get more hairs on their body. So you can see amount of damage that can be done by Bihar hairy caterpillar. And both young and grown up caterpillars feed voraciously on the leaves, and in the early attack re-sowing has to be done. Many times they can completely remove your crop and you need to go for sowing the crop again. Now, how to manage this Bihar hairy caterpillar? So, management is first is go for mechanical control. It is eco-friendly method which provides an effective check. So, what can be done? Remove infested leaves containing first or second instar gregarious phase. First and second instar means they are very young at this stage, and dip them in kerosinized water or insecticidal solution. So, you can put some kerosene in water and then drop the leaf where these insects are there into that mixture of kerosinized water. Then spray with malathion 50 EC, 1000 ml in 500 liters of water per hectare, and removal of alternate host plants from the surrounding is also beneficial. So, these are important control measures for Bihar hairy caterpillar. So, after insect pest management, let us discuss disease management. Diseases are also important. So, various plant pathogens are reported to affect this group of crops. Among them, 18 are considered economically important in different parts of the globe. So, 18 plant diseases are important in rapeseed and mustard, and these diseases can be caused by several organisms. particularly fungal diseases are more common. There can be some mycoplasmic diseases in rapeseed and mustard crops. So in India, Alternaria blight, a fungal disease, white rust, sclerotinia rot, and powdery mildews, all are fungal diseases. They can cause yield loss up to 47, 47, 40 and 18% respectively. That means Alternaria blight can cause 47% damage, white rust equally 47%, and your sclerotinia rot 40%, and powdery mildew can also cause 18% reduction in seed yield. Thus, there is need for mixture of fungicide for avoiding resistant development in pathogens to fungicide. So, what is happening? People are continuously using same kind of fungicide again and again, year after year. So, what is happening? The microbes or the fungus is getting resistant. Slowly it is becoming resistant against that particular fungicide. So, better or best option is to rotate the fungicide. Do not use the same fungicide year after year. Just change the fungicide every year to manage these fungal diseases. And also one can go for biological control measures, use certain biological agents. That is always advantageous. They are often effective against a wide range of soil-borne pathogens. So, number of options are available these days. Seed treatment can be done with the trichoderma, and some more options are available. So, moreover, they are eco-friendly. These kind of biocontrol agents are eco-friendly, cost-effective. Cost-effective means they are cheaper, and their use avoids risk of development of resistance in pathogen towards control agent. So, better to go for biological control options, some cultural management options, and use of chemicals or fungicides should be the last option. In cultural control, measures like choosing sowing time. Many times diseases can be prevented simply by altering the sowing time. There are number of cases where diseases have been minimized by modifying the sowing time. Is important as it affects the disease incidence. Now, deep summer plowing also help in reducing the disease inoculum in big way. So, definitely our forefathers also knew the advantages of deep summer plowing. So, what happens if your rabi crop is harvested in the month of April, and then May and June, 2 months are there and lot of temperature is there outside. Maybe sometimes it can go up to 45, 48 degrees centigrade temperature. So, early in the month of late in the month of April or early May, plowing can be done, deep plowing can be done, which is called as summer deep plowing. And what happens, the temperature, the incident temperature will kill the germs. Variety of eggs or some fungal bodies or all kind of pests, they can be killed by this heat. So, better to go for summer plowing. It also manages some weeds. So, use of disease resistant or tolerant or early maturing disease escaping cultivars. This is the best option if we understand that a particular disease is quite prevalent in a locality. Under those conditions, let us choose the variety which is tolerant to that particular problem or that particular disease. Now, what can be done if you get the disease? So, seed treatment is the number one option. Means prevention is better than cure, and it is a low cost input. Seed treatment, very little dose of fungicide is used, just 2 to 2.5 gram of fungicide per kg of seed is used. So, it is cheaper or low monetary input, but it has a long effect on saving the plant from diseases. So, seed treatment can be done with biocontrol agents, as I was referring about Trichoderma viridi, very effective against fungal diseases, G. virens or botanicals like Allium sativum, L. bulb extract or carbendazim. Carbendazim is a chemical which is also called as bavestine, 0.1%. Here 0.1% means 1 gram per kg seed, or a mixture of carbendazim with apron, 35 SD. So, here the quantity is 6 gram per kg seed, has been found effective in controlling diseases in rapeseed mustard. If one is buying certified seed, then that is automatically treated by fungicide. But if farmer is using his own seed, then it should be treated with these kind of fungicides to prevent the diseases coming up in the crop. Application of recommended balanced doses of N, P and K fertilizer with split application of nitrogen, optimum plant population with recommended spacing. So, these measures also reduce the disease incidence. For example, if we use more of nitrogenous fertilizer, the invasion or infestation of the disease will be more compared to the crop where we have done balanced nutrition. Many times farmers do not use phosphorus or potassic fertilizers. So, that is also a problem, because potassic fertilizer particularly, it gives resistance against diseases and also against the insect pests. So, therefore, potassium, phosphorus application, also sulfur application necessary in case of rapeseed and mustard crop. However, these nutrients of fertilizer should be used in a balanced way and more judiciously. Proper drainage to avoid water stagnation helps to reduce the disease infestation. Now, we will take one by one. So, first disease is Alternaria blight. It is caused by the fungus Alternaria brassicae. Small light brown circular spots on cotyledonary leaves turning black in advanced stage. So, it can come at any stage, even after field emergence. When you have cotyledon leaves, in those leaves also it can come, and it can come at later stage also. But what it is doing, it is making the spots light brown circular spots. So, you can see on the leaf on the right side, you can see these are circular, round circular spots are there, and they are light brown in color. You can check on the leaf left side also, there are circular spots on the leaf. So, this is typical symptom of Alternaria blight. A small circular brown or blackish spot on leaves increase in size. So, slowly they increase in size. You can see on the right side very clear, their size has increased. See this one, and you can see the chlorotic area is also appearing here. So, multiply rapidly, forming dark brown concentric rings. Concentric rings means kind of round rings. Circular to linear dark brown lesions on stem and pods. So, not only leaves, but spots can be seen on the stem and pods. Elongate at later stage. Then they can elongate, they can increase in length and width. So, this disease can be many times can be very destructive disease. So, grayish to brown colored small shriveled seeds. Symptoms can be also observed on the seed which are shriveled, means smaller size, blighting and defoliation, damaged young stem nodes. You can see on the right side, there is almost death of the leaves, and complete defoliation means removal of leaves from the stem. You can also see symptoms on the siliqua or pod of rapeseed mustard. High humidity and warm weather with intermittent rains favor the disease development. Now, how to manage this disease? Collect and burn the diseased plants debris to minimize the primary source of inoculum. Early sowing in the first fortnight of October. This is interesting. For aphid also, for many diseases, many problems, early sowing means sowing in the first fortnight of October is quite useful in escaping the insect pest and diseases. Spray Roveral or Mancozeb 0.2%. 0.2% means 2 gram or 2 ml per liter of water at 50 to 60 days after sowing, followed by 2 more sprays at 30 days interval depending upon severity of the disease. Now, after Alternaria blight, the next important disease of rapeseed mustard is white rust. This is not true rust. This is just kind of false rust, but name has been given as rust because it is not caused by the rust genera of or genus of fungus. So, its scientific name is Albigo candida. Small white raised pustules on leaves, stems, inflorescence and floral parts, and these pustules coalesce to form large patches. On the right side, you can very clearly see the white rust, it is white in color, and different small pustules are there on the leaf. So what it is doing, it will ultimately cover the leaf, it will become all white kind of powder will be there, and there will not be chlorophyll or photosynthesis can be affected. More symptoms are there: swelling and distortion of stem and floral parts. So you can see these are flowers. See the situation of the flowering branch also. It is swelling, it has swollen. That means its translocation of food material or nutrients or water may be affected here. So what happens? Floral parts result into hypertrophy and hyperplasia, called as stag head. So this kind of formation of the branch having flower is called as stag head, and you can see the size has increased because of hypertrophy and hyperplasia. Hypertrophy means increase in size due to increase in size of the individual cells, and hyperplasia is increased in the number of the cells. So therefore both hypertrophy and hyperplasia are happening, because of which swelling has occurred in this particular branch, and it is called as stag head. Above results in mixed infection of white rust and downy mildew under humid conditions. So sometimes symptoms are difficult to judge or difficult to distinguish, as two disease complex can come together. Means white rust and downy mildew can go hand in hand. Both can occur at the same time. So it becomes quite mosaic of symptoms. Now management of white rust is use the seed from stag head free plants to avoid carryover of oospores through the seeds. Means do not use the infested seed or seed which was infested in the previous crop. So take the fresh seed, treat the seed with Apron 35 SP 6 gram per kg seed. Destroy the disease plants debris, so that these residues or disease causing organism or inoculum is not left in the field. Early sowing, preferably in the first fortnight of October. So this can avoid the incidence of this disease white rust. Spray the crop with Ridomil. In its standing crop, if you see the symptoms of the disease, you can spray the Ridomil MZ 0.25% at 50 days after sowing, followed by second spray 15 to 20 days after the first spray if needed. Or first spray the crop with Ridomil at 0.25% at 50 days after sowing, followed by 2 sprays of Roveral or Mancozeb 0.2% at 15 days interval. So these are the two measures actually, and one of these can be adopted to control the white rust chemically. The third important disease is downy mildew. It is caused by Pernospora parasitica. Appears 10 to 15 days after germination. Small, creamy, white to light brown. See, creamy, white to light brown spores on cotyledons on underside of the lower leaves are there. So underside means lower side. So you can see these kind of small creamy white light brown spores can be seen, and you can see more symptoms of downy mildew. Elongated 2 to 3 inches twisted ovary. Ovary can twist and it can become 2 to 3 inches. Atrophied floral buds, stunted sepals, petals and stamen. The growth of the sepals, which are part of the calyx, petals part of the corolla of the flower, and stamens are part of the male organs, male sex organs. So you can see their growth is also reduced. Swollen, malformed floral parts show mixed infection of downy mildew and white rust. It is quite common. The mixture of downy mildew and white rust diseases can come together. So here you can see on the right side, one is downy mildew, symptoms of downy mildew you can see, and symptoms of powdery mildew. It is white powder on the leaf. So sometimes their mixture is there and difficult to differentiate. Now what is the management option for downy mildew? Use the seed from stag head free plants. Means non-infested plant, take the seed to avoid carryover of oospores through the seeds. Oospores are the spores of the fungus. Treat the seed with Apron 35 SD 6 gram per kg seed, and destroy the disease plant debris. Early sowing preferably in the first fortnight of October. So, you can see control measures or management measures of white rust and downy mildew are almost the same. Spray the crop with Ridomil MZ at the rate of 0.25% at 50 days after sowing, followed by second spray 15 to 20 days after the first spray, or first spray the crop with Ridomil MZ at 0.25% at 50 days after sowing, followed by 2 sprays of Roveral or Mancozeb at 0.2% at 15 days interval. So, either of these can be adopted to manage the downy mildew in rapeseed and mustard crops. Next is powdery mildew. It is caused by Erysife cruciferum, dirty white circular flowery. Flowery means just like your wheat flour, atta. Flowery patches on leaves, stem, pods. Patches increase with increase in temperature. Dusted white chalk powder on all plant parts. So, you can see this powdery growth of the fungus Erysife on the leaves. A small size shriveled few seeds in infected pods. So, as this suggests that this particular fungus can infect the leaves, it can infect pods, flowers, any part, and minute circular black spherical scattered or concentrated Sperithecia on infected leaves, stem and pods. Now, how to manage this powdery mildew? Erysife, sow the crop on normal planting date. Normally, delaying should be avoided. Destroy plant parts to reduce primary source of inoculum. Spray Dinocap at the rate of 0.1%. 0.1% here means 1 gram per liter of water at the initiation of the disease, and repeat the spray after 15 days if required. Depending upon the severity of the disease, the spray can be repeated. Now, stem rot or blight, it is caused by Sclerotinia sclerotiorum, elongated water-soaked lesions on stem, courtney mycelium, growth of fungus. Courtney here means whitish growth. Wilting and drying of plants, stunting and premature ripening of plant, shedding of stem. So, on the right side you can see the white growth. This white growth, if you cut the stem longitudinally, then or split the stem longitudinally, you can see white growth of the fungus, and also you will find some black sclerotia. These are sclerotia structure of the fungus, and you can see the damage here. Damage done by stem rot means the stem is rotting or decay of the stem, you can see, and the stem is decayed, the plant will fall on the ground and it will be disconnected from the roots. So, growth of flower, pods, etc. will be severely affected by stem rot or blight. Management: collect and burn the disease debris, means field sanitation is necessary, and follow crop rotations preferably with the wheat. Also, seed treatment should be done. Treat the seed with garlic bulb extract, 2% extract can be taken, followed by a foliar spray of 2% garlic extract at 45 and 70 days after sowing. So, this kind of treatment will suit more to the organic farming. If somebody is interested to go for organic farming of rapeseed and mustard crop, then such kind of extract of garlic bulb can be used to control the stem rot. Spray carbendazim, this is for chemical farming. So, carbendazim can be sprayed at the rate of 0.05% at appearance of the disease. Carbendazim is commonly known as Bavestin. Next disease is club rot, caused by Plasmodiophora brassicae. So, as the name suggests, the root have clubs. So, confined to West Bengal. In India it is not common everywhere, mostly in West Bengal. Plants remain stunted, means their growth is reduced, leaves pale yellow, hypertrophy in main and lateral roots. Hypertrophy means increase in size of cells, and therefore, the development of the roots become swollen. Plants ultimately die. So, on the right side you can see, you can see this the growth of the root, overgrowth of the root. So this structure is club. You can see here, or you can see here on the left side also, these club. This is club root. So roots are getting clubbed. Management, soil amendment with lime so as to reach soil pH 7.2. Make the ideal pH towards neutrality. Restrict irrigation. Usually second irrigation should be avoided. Sowing should be done in second fortnight of October. Now phyllodes. Phyllodes is also important disease, particularly in rapeseed. It is caused by mycoplasma-like organism, MLOs. They are in brief called as MLOs. Transformation of floral parts into leafy structure. You can see these floral parts had become leafy structure on the right side. There are no flowers, and flowers have been transformed into leaves or leafy structure. So transformation of floral parts into leafy structure. Warm and dry climate favors disease development. Of course, we do not have much control on the climate, but we have control at field level. We can manage the crop. So rogue the virus affected plants, uproot and destroy parasitic plants before seed setting so that they do not spread to the next crop. Spray dimethoate, that is Rogor 30 EC at 0.1% for control of insect vector. This mycoplasma can be transmitted by certain other insect that can be controlled by Rogor or dimethoate foliar spray. Now coming to the harvesting and threshing of rapeseed and mustard crop. So crops harvested as soon as 75% of the pods turn yellow and moisture content of the seed is around 30 to 40%. So this is the right stage for harvesting of the rapeseed mustard crop, and crop should be harvested preferably in the morning hours when the pods are slightly damp and moist with night dew to minimize the shattering losses. Shattering losses are quite common in rapeseed and mustard crop. If it is slightly over matured, then shattering of pods can happen and it will split into two and seeds will fall on the ground. So there can be severe loss. Even during transportation from one place to another place to the from field to the threshing floor, losses can occur. Losses can also occur even at the threshing floor if due care is not given. So it should be harvested at right time and morning hours, and bundles of the harvested plants are stacked and dried in the sun for a few days. Before threshing, moisture content in the grain should be between 12 and 20%. It should not be too wet or it should not be too dry. Threshing is done by usual method of threshing by bullocks or running a tractor over the dried plants. But these days number of threshers or threshing machines are available. Modern threshing machines can be used. In case of produce is more, combine or multi-crop harvester are also available these days. Seeds are separated by winnowing. Winnowing is actually cleaning operation where the extra materials are removed, dust or other particles are removed from the seed. Moisture content of the seed must be less than 8%. This is important for storage. Under normal conditions, rapeseed yields about 1.4 to 2 tons per hectare, while mustard yields more, that is 2 to 2.5 tons per hectare. As you know, there are 5 different crops under rapeseed and 3 different crops under mustard. So yield of rapeseed crop is lower, that is 1.4 to 2 tons per hectare, and yield of mustard group of crop is higher, that is 2 to 2.5 tons per hectare. Now coming to the seed processing part. Seed processing here mainly the extraction of oil, how oil is extracted and how seed is separated into oil cake and oil. So in India we used to have bullock driven ghanis or kolu. Even today in some places you will find such kind of extraction of oil from rapeseed mustard, and some people still prefer this ghani extracted oil. So it consists of a mortar, you can see this is structure, mortar and a wooden pestle. Pestle is also there, you can put the seed in the there, and where the pestle is rotated by a bullock going, and seeds are placed in mortar. Recovery of the oil is 30 to 32%. So, here you can say this is your mortar, this is your pestle, it is run by the bullock and oil is extracted. However, the recovery of the oil by this method is less, which is 30 to 32%. Now, rotary mills are also available. So, it is a power driven ghani which is made of cast iron, and in this process both the mortar and the pestle revolves. In this case, this is mortar, this is pestle, both revolve, and recovery of the oil is 30 to 35%, higher than the previous one. In previous one, the bullock driven ghani or kolu, it was 30 to 32%, but now recovery has gone up to 35%. Next is expeller. Commercially, this is used. Seed is subject to roll in 3 or 5 high rollers and fed into steam jacketed, through which it is heated to 75 to 80 degrees centigrade. Oil expelled by pressure exerted by the worms against the walls and narrow end of expeller of the chamber. Its recovery is still higher than the rotary mill. It is 35 to 38% recovery by this method, and this is commercially used by people. And other important method is solvent extraction process. This is really advanced method. It is modern method of extracting oil from the seeds. The basic technique is to dissolve oil in a volatile solvent, that is N-hexane. N-hexane can be used, and then to distill the extract, recovering solvent and oil separately. So, after this, now we are going to discuss different cropping systems of the rapeseed mustard, where this crop is fitted, and what are the intercropping options for rapeseed and mustard crops. Rapeseed mustard are grown in both pure as well as mixed stands. In rotation, these crops are raised with other crops like maize, pulse millet, cotton and pulses, etc. Brown sarso and mustard, which is Brassica gentiana or Indian mustard, are usually cultivated as pure crops in rain-fed areas. You must be knowing, you also seen the data that Rajasthan has very high area under mustard crop, and also some rain-fed area is there. Some feasible and remunerative cropping systems for different regions are given in the next slide. So, you can see some promising cropping system where rapeseed mustard crops are involved for different states. So, first see the case of Assam. For under rain-fed conditions of Assam, you can see jute or summer rice. One of them can be taken, either jute or summer rice, and then toria can be taken. Under irrigated conditions of Assam, jute or summer rice can be taken, either of these two, and then toria in Rabi season can be taken. Rice is taken in Kharif, as you know, rice toria jute, rice toria mung bean. So, these are the rotations for Assam. Coming to Bihar, maize, mustard or yellow sarso can be taken. So, this is also important rotation. Then white jute, toria or mustard, or cowpea, toria. So, these are the rotations for rain-fed condition of Bihar. Now, irrigated condition of Bihar, you have maize, toria, wheat, and then mung bean. In summer, you can take mung bean also, early rice and mustard, maize, toria, sugarcane. Next is West Bengal. So, here for rain-fed condition, these are the rotations: jute, toria or mustard, and spring green gram. Maize, toria or mustard. Here oblique or slash means either or. Upland, rice or jute, and then mustard or yellow sarso. Next rotation is cowpea, mustard for fodder, and then next rotation is maize for fodder, sorghum or cowpea, and then yellow sarso or mustard. These are 1 year rotations, and you can also see rotations for irrigated conditions: rice, toria, summer rice, rice, mustard, jute, yellow sarso, rice, mustard, rice, almond rice, toria, boro rice, rice mustard or yellow sarso and jute. For UP also you can see different rotations for rain-fed conditions like maize or pearl millet, green gram, sesame, mustard, yellow sarso, early rice or toria or mustard. So these are different rotations. For irrigated conditions can be green gram, black gram, toria, wheat, maize, mustard, yellow sarso or green gram. So number of options are available. Maize mustard is also promising rotation for UP. Rice mustard is also there. So these are rotations. And for Diara lands in rain-fed conditions or irrigated conditions, you can have wheat or mustard and then China. China is Panicum miliaceum, or you can have gram plus mustard or toria. And then again China in summer mung bean and vegetable. For Madhya Pradesh, you can see for rain-fed condition, fallow and then toria or mustard. This fallow is during Kharif season and toria or mustard can be taken in Rabi season. For irrigated condition, fallow toria wheat, summer mung and fallow toria gram. Likewise, we have different rotations for Gujarat, Rajasthan, Haryana, different states. So I am just in brief discussing the important intercropping systems where rapeseed mustard crops are involved. So under rain-fed conditions, chickpea intercropped with mustard in row ratio 4:1, means 4 rows of chickpea and 1 row of mustard in the central or western UP, and 3:1 in Tarai region of Uttarakhand, Rajasthan proved remunerative. So you can see in those areas 3 rows of chickpea or gram or chana and 1 row of mustard. Similarly, mustard plus potato intercropping system is also good, and potato intercropped with mustard is more remunerative than potato alone. So this has been adopted by farmers. 3 ridges are planted with potato, and then on 4th ridge, instead of potato, mustard is sown. Seed rate of potato is kept similar to the pure crop. Now mustard plus wheat cropping system is also there. Line sowing of wheat and mustard in 6:1 and 8:1. So here means that you can have 6 rows of wheat and 1 row of mustard, or 8 rows of wheat and 1 row of mustard. This is the row ratio. It gives high net returns over the traditional farmer practice of broadcast mustard in wheat. So broadcasting of mustard in wheat should be avoided because it creates difficulty, particularly during the harvesting time. Toria mustard plus autumn planted sugarcane. You know that in October month in northern India, sugarcane is planted, which is autumn planted cane. In autumn planted cane, one can go for sowing of toria or mustard crop. The production practices are similar to that of pure crop of sugarcane, except that 1 row of toria or mustard is planted between 2 rows of sugarcane. Only 1 row of mustard or toria can be planted between 2 rows of sugarcane. So, dear student, hope you enjoyed this lecture. We covered insect pests and disease management, seed processing, harvesting, and also some intercropping systems, etc. Hope you enjoyed this lecture very much. Thank you so much.